We've all been there, eyes glued to a textbook, hours melting away, yet the information seems to evaporate like morning mist. You cram, you highlight, you reread, but when the exam arrives, your mind is a blank slate. Why is it that we find it so hard to retain what we study? Our brains thrive on active engagement, on forging connections and weaving narratives. Think about it. You can effortlessly recall the plot of a captivating movie or the lyrics to your favorite song, but remembering the functions of the mitochondria? Not so much. This is because our brains prioritize information that is meaningful, emotional, and connected to our existing knowledge. Dry facts and figures simply don't stand a chance against a thrilling story or a catchy melody. But don't despair. There are proven techniques, backed by science and practiced by memory champions, that can help us transform our minds into information powerhouses. Get ready to unlock your memory's full potential and say goodbye to the great forgetting. Imagine strolling through your childhood home, each room bursting with vivid memories. Now, picture yourself placing objects related to your study material within those rooms. This, my friends, is the essence of the memory palace, a technique as old as ancient Greece. Let's say you're trying to memorize the periodic table. Instead of brute force memorization, assign each element a unique image. For example, gold could be a shimmering bar, oxygen a pair of lungs, and helium a floating balloon. Then place these images along a familiar route within your memory palace. As you walk through your palace, you'll encounter these bizarre, memorable images, each triggering the associated element. The key is to create vivid, multisensory experiences that engage your imagination and make the information unforgettable. Cramming might get you through a test, but it's like building a sandcastle on the beach, temporary and easily washed away. What if I told you there's a better way? A method that ensures knowledge stays with you for the long haul. Enter spaced repetition. The basic principle is simple. Review information just before you're about to forget it. Start by reviewing new material frequently, then gradually increase the intervals between reviews. This forces your brain to retrieve the information from long-term memory, strengthening the neural connections. There are fantastic apps and software programs that automate spaced repetition, making it easier than ever to implement. By working with your brain's natural forgetting curve, spaced repetition helps you achieve true mastery of any subject. We often equate learning with passively absorbing information, but true mastery requires active engagement. Active recall is a powerful technique that forces your brain to retrieve information from memory, making learning more effective and lasting. Think of it as a mental workout for your memory muscles. The simplest form of active recall is closing your book after reading a section and trying to recall as much as possible. You can also use flashcards, create your own quizzes, or explain the material to someone else. The key is to actively retrieve the information, not just passively reread it. Challenge yourself to retrieve the information from memory and watch your knowledge soar. Our short-term memory is notoriously limited, capable of holding only a handful of items at once. So how do we remember longer strings of information like phone numbers or historical dates? The answer lies in chunking. Think about how we remember phone numbers. We don't memorize them as a string of 10 digits, but rather as chunks of 3 or 4 area code, prefix, line number. By breaking down information into smaller, more manageable chunks, we make it easier for our brains to process and remember. Chunking works because it leverages our brain's natural ability to find patterns and make connections. The key to effective chunking is to find groupings that are meaningful to you. By harnessing the power of chunking, you can expand your memory capacity and tackle even the most daunting study material. Mastering your memory is not a one-time endeavor. It's an ongoing journey of practice and refinement. Like any skill worth acquiring, it requires dedication, patience, and a willingness to experiment. The more you use these techniques, the more natural and instinctive they will become. Some techniques might resonate more than others, and that's okay. The key is to find a system that you enjoy and that fits your learning style. Remember, the goal is not to memorize information for the sake of memorizing it, but to acquire knowledge that you can use and apply in the real world. By mastering your memory, you unlock a world of possibilities, from excelling in your studies to pursuing your passions with greater confidence and ease. So, embrace the challenge, stay curious, and never stop exploring the incredible potential of your own mind.